Coming up on this week's Fever Film Room, we bring on the sister-in-laws. Veteran Candice Dupree and rookie Erica McCall have a special connection. Learn more about the bond that ties the two Fever players together. And Indiana returns home where they're 4-1 on the season. Get the players' take on why they played well here and how they hope to continue it. And we break down Thursday night's opponent, the Atlanta Dream. All that and more is coming up right now. Well, joining us here on the Fever Film Room, fresh out of practice, Candice Dupree, Erica McCall. So we are grabbing you right out of practice. How would you describe the energy the last couple of days?
Energy's been great. High intensity, a lot of effort on both ends of the floor, especially defensive end, and it's got to carry over to tomorrow's game.
Erica, we've had these shows coming right after practices before games throughout the season. Transition defense has been a theme of things you guys are working on. I assume that's still the same. But what are some of the other things you guys are focusing on here the last couple of days?
Boxing out, rebounding, that's been a big key of ours, something that we've been working on throughout the whole season. So that's what we are really focused on today, and that's what we're going to focus on tomorrow for the game.
All right, well, as always during this show, we take your Twitter questions, and we're going to go early on with the show with this one we got this week. You can tweet at Indiana Fever if you have a question, and we will forward those along. This comes from the Flyest Hoopa. So if either you thought you were the Flyest Hoopa, no, the Flyest Hoopa is this person. And the question here is in a little bit of a background. You two, this is actually a sister-in-law edition of the Fever Film Room. Mm-hmm. Your sister is Dewana Bonner, who is your wife. So I know that has given you guys a little bit of a connection right out of the gates here, especially valuable, Eric, I'm sure, to you. The question is, hi, Bird, biggest fan here. Knowing you had hopes of playing with your sister, what's it been like playing with your sister-in-law?
Better. Sure, we'll say that.
Yeah.
No, it's been great. Candice helps me out a lot in practice, after practice, before practice, just giving me tips, and she's definitely helped me become a lot better player throughout this course of the season.
To be a rookie.
Candice, no, she's going to cry.
To be a rookie and to make this jump from college to WNBA, especially how quickly it comes with the college season not ending but more than a few months ago. What's it been like to have somebody with her experience to lean on?
It's been great. Really, the transition has been really easy having her around. She's just been helping a lot with my post moves, a little bit of everything really, and so it's been great. She keeps me up when I get down, and so it's just, like I said, it's been great. I keep saying it's great because that's how amazing this girl is right here.
when practice ends,
So
you two kind of find your way to that far basket and work out together, whether it's on the floor or off of it. What are some of the things you're trying to impress as a veteran in this league upon her?
I think the biggest thing is probably composure, patience. I think a lot of rookies, when they come in, they feel rushed, like they have to play fast and have to shoot the ball every time. So just trying to slow it down a little bit, work on shots that I know that she would get within our offense, and just expanding her post game.
This is kind of an on-the-spot question with her sitting right here, I know, but Kelly Kroskoff was thrilled when you were still on the board when the Fever were drafting. What do you see in her as a potential player down the line?
I mean, she's got great athleticism. She crashes the boards extremely hard on both ends of the floor. And again, as long as she works on her expanding her offensive game, she'll be an extremely versatile player.
We're 10 games into the season. You've gotten a fair amount of consistent minutes. How has this transition gone? The first 10 games, where do you feel like you've improved the most?
It's been a fun transition, definitely a lot different than what I expected, as probably what every rookie would say. Probably the biggest thing that I've improved on is definitely just slowing down, learning how to read the defense. It's something I'm definitely still working on every day, but it gets easier as I continue to play and get in the game.
All right, this is something I want to hit on back with the beginning of this question because some may not know. In fact, I was a little stumped by this right when you got here. The nickname Bird, it's because your last name is McCall, and that sounds like McCall.
McCall!
One more time?
McCall!
How did, obviously I can put the two together now, but how did that come together in your college days, I think?
Yeah, so there's another Erica on my team my freshman year, so Chanae Wumuke came up with it when we were in strength conditioning, and she just said, hey, Bird, and I was like, that my name? She's like, yeah, it sounds like a bird, McCall, and so it stuck, and now everyone calls me that. And, at first Candice didn't really want to jump on board with it, but now everyone calls me Bird, so it feels like I'm just at home. Like
but it's perfect foreshadowing because there's another Erica on this team.
Yeah, I know, it's perfect. So I know coming in, and there's like 3 E's on this team, so
right.
Bird stuck, and so I'm glad that the team is enjoying calling me Bird.
this building has been really kind to you guys this season. Just one loss, and it was a game that went to overtime. You could have had it. Candice, what do you like the most about the level of play at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in the early part of the season?
I think it's just the energy that we feed off of from the fans. That's probably been the biggest thing. For some odd reason, we tend to play with more intensity, energy, effort at home than we do away right now. So we got to figure out how to take that, package it up, and bring it with us on the road.
Do you sense some of that? And now we're already 10 games into the season, so we're getting past calling it early part of the season, but it probably still is early part of the season. Do you sense some of that will continue to grow just as the season progresses, you guys get more familiar with one another?
It will. Hopefully it grows at a rapid pace. Because like you said, we're already 10 games in, so we can't afford to just keep saying, we're getting there. It's a process. At some point it's got to click, and we just got to go out and do it. Neither
of you were here for the season, but it was only a couple of years ago the Fever went to the finals, went to Game 5 of the finals. That year they were 4-6 right at this point. I think as a veteran, that certainly that can still happen with a group like this, and you guys have shown that potential. But Fever fans as well, they've seen this happen firsthand recently, that maybe not even a slow start, but a start where you guys, I'm sure, in some areas, especially on the road, would like to be playing at a little bit of a higher level. It can be turned around.
For sure. Like you said, teams, I think talking to some of my teammates, they were saying last year they started off like 0-6 or something like that, and they were able to make it to the playoffs.
Right.
I personally don't like to wait until the back end of the season to get things going, because then you got to rely on other teams losing and all that kind of stuff. So, it kind of helps the morale of the team if we can start, putting some games together and getting multiple wins instead of just banking on after the All-Star break to get it done. So
your guys' schedule through 10 games, it's been an interesting one. You played Seattle 3 times already. You've yet to play Atlanta. You've got them for the first time. Candice, we'll start with you. When you look at them, obviously the big name that is missing is Angel McCoughtry, but so far this season, I think they've surprised maybe some people with how well they've played. There's certainly talent there elsewhere, but when you look at Atlanta, what do you see?
Extremely athletic. They like to get out and run in transition, get up and down the floor, not really looking to run too many half-court sets. I also see Tiffany Hayes. She's kind of their go-to player right now, and she's looking to attack.
Besides transition defense, as you guys get closer here to honing in on Atlanta, what are some of the areas that they do well that you're hoping to slow down?
Really just their transition.
Transition. That's the scouting report right
transition
now. Scouting report.
Offense transition and
dribble penetration.
Yeah, they do that a lot. They do that a lot. And so if we can slow that down, just slow down their transition offense, I think we'll be in great shape to win the game.
You guys have had early stretches where you've been on the road for a few, home for a few. That kind of breaks up a little bit now. Obviously, Atlanta is your focus, and that's understandable. But you guys, after Atlanta, will have a game against Chicago. You'll go back to the road. So as you start to transition home and road, what's the key to bringing that level and keeping it high?
Just locking in. I think that's the biggest thing, and buying into the system that Polk is trying to put in on both ends of the floor. Mm-hmm. And I think defense overall should be our main focus at this point.
Well, the Indiana Fever are against Atlanta. That's coming up on Thursday night. You can be here by visiting feverbasketball.com, clicking the tickets tab right above us if you're watching on the website, or visiting the Bankers Life box offices. They head then on the road, and then the next home game, actually June 24th, it's against Los Angeles, and it's the Tamika Catchings jersey retirement night. So if you haven't had your tickets for those yet, time to get acting on that. Same avenues where you can get tickets for those. We'll leave you with one more question. Atlanta coming up. You talked about transition defense, dribble penetration. One key from your perspective to getting that win on Thursday night.
Go ahead, Bird. You got it. What's your one key?
One key.
One key.
And I know you guys have named a couple, so
wow, yeah.
Maybe a third key is
a third
more.
key that we did not mention.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You want me to take it?
Yeah, go ahead and take this one.
We need to attack them.
There we go.
We got to get stops, so people have to guard us too. So we need to be aggressive and just push it down their throats.
Because in a lot of your guys' wins here, you have come from behind, but not the case most recently in your last win, and I'm sure hoping that'll be the case.
So we need to attack them early.
Ditto.
Bird, Erica McCall, the rookie, the veteran, Candice Dupree. Appreciate your time here on
No
the Fever
problem.
Film Room. Good luck going forward.
Thank you.